All right, everybody, welcome to another deep dive.
Mm.
Today, we're going to be tackling pet wellness.
Sounds good.
We're taking a look at a collection of advice straight from the experts, actually.
Oh, nice.
Vet care advice. What the experts really say.
Okay, yeah.
Imagine this, right? You're a brand new pet parent. You know, you've got this playful little puppy, or maybe it's a curious kitten.
It's such an exciting time.
It is exciting, but it's also, like, kind of overwhelming, right?
Totally.
Where do you even begin?
Right.
That's what we're here for.
Yeah.
In this deep dive, we're going to equip you with all the knowledge you need, to give your furry friend the absolute best care.
Love it.
Let's start right at the beginning, those first vet visits.
Yeah.
I think some people might think, well, my pet seems healthy. Why do I need to rush them to the vet right away?
Right, yeah. It's super important to bring your pet in for checkups early, even if they seem perfectly healthy.
Okay, so why is that?
Well, for one thing, early detection is key. It's much easier to address potential health issues when they're caught in the early stages.
That makes sense.
Also, we can establish a baseline for their health records. Things like weight, heart rate, any potential breed-specific predispositions.
Okay.
This helps us create a tailored plan for their specific needs as they grow.
So it's not just checking off a box.
Not at all. It's also about, getting them used to the vet's office,
Right.
making it a positive experience, bring some treats, use positive reinforcement. That can really make a difference.
Okay, that's a great tip. So what about when our pets aren't feeling their best?
Yeah.
I mean, they can't exactly tell us what's wrong.
Exactly. But they do give us clues through their behavior.
Okay.
So those subtle changes in their behavior, those can be huge clues.
Like what?
Well, let's say you have a cat that's suddenly hiding more often than usual. That could be a sign of pain, or maybe they're feeling anxious.
What about a dog that's suddenly hesitant to go for walks? Like, I know if my usually playful pup was doing that, I would definitely be worried.
Right, absolutely. Yeah. Keep a close eye out for any changes in their appetite, energy levels, even their bathroom habits.
Gotcha.
All of these things can be signs that something might be off.
It's almost like learning a secret language.
It really is.
Speaking of decoding, let's tackle the pet food aisle.
Ooh, yes.
I mean, that can be a super overwhelming place.
It can be.
How do you choose the right food for your pet? Especially with so many different options.
So many options. It's really all about considering your pet's individual needs, right?
Okay.
Think about their age, their breed, their activity level, any allergies they might have.
Oh, right, yeah.
All those factors come into play.
So it's not one size fits all.
Definitely not.
So let's say, for example, you have a dog with joint issues.
Okay.
What kind of ingredients should we be looking for in their food?
That's a great question. Glucosamine and chondroitin. Those are excellent for joint support. If you have a pet with a sensitive stomach, look for easily digestible proteins and prebiotics.
Okay, so it's really about tailoring that diet, right?
Yes,
To
extremely.
promote their optimal health. Now let's dive into pet behavior.
One of my favorite topics.
I mean, we've all experienced those head-scratching moments with our pets.
Absolutely.
Like, why is my dog barking excessively?
Right. And it's important to remember that it's not just about them being noisy.
Okay.
It could be a sign of boredom, or maybe they're feeling anxious. Could even be a need for better boundary setting.
Interesting. So it's not just about suppressing the behavior.
Exactly. We want to understand the root cause
Okay.
and work from there.
What about destructive scratching? My cat seems to think my furniture is a scratching post.
Yeah, cats, they need to scratch. It's instinctual for them.
What?
The key is to provide them with appropriate outlets for that scratching. So, scratching posts, mats, things like that. And then use positive reinforcement to redirect their behavior.
So working with their instincts, not against them.
Exactly.
All right, last but not least, let's talk about safety. Our homes, they can be full of hidden dangers
They can, yeah.
for our furry friends.
It's a good idea to think about, baby proofing,
Okay.
but for your pets.
Okay.
So that means keeping toxic substances like cleaning products out of reach.
Right.
Secure any loose wires. Be mindful of plants that could be poisonous.
Well,
And even things that seem harmless like dental floss can be a hazard if they swallow it.
so it's about being proactive
Yes.
and creating a safe haven for them.
Absolutely.
This has been incredibly
It's
insightful.
been fun.
We've covered so much,
Yeah.
from those first vet visits to nutrition, pet behavior, and safety tips.
It's a lot to think about.
It is. So as we wrap up, what's one piece of advice, one key takeaway for our listeners?
I think the most important thing is to build a strong relationship with your veterinarian.
Okay, yeah,
They're your best resource
that makes sense.
for personalized guidance throughout your pet's life.
That's a good one.
And trust your instincts. If something seems off, don't hesitate to ask questions. You are your pet's biggest advocate.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for all the great advice and insight today. This has been really helpful. To our listeners, remember that every pet is unique and their needs will evolve as they grow. So stay informed, stay curious, and keep those tails wagging.
Absolutely.
Until next time.
Bye.